Hey guys, Josh here, and I had the chance to play the upcoming Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. I'm 12 hours in, just finished the first in-game month. There is so much I want to say, but I'm only allowed to show 10 minutes of gameplay for this preview, so I will be focusing on what stood out to me the most, and later this month, I will be posting a full review. Thanks to Marvelous for sending me an early Steam key. The game will be out on Steam, Switch, and Switch 2 on August 27th. Leave a like on the video if you're excited for Grand Bazaar, and let's get started. First, I spent a good 5 minutes just staring at the title screen, and unfortunately we can't do the whole 5 minutes here, but just appreciate it for a few seconds. Let's get this out of the way. This is by far the most beautiful Story of Seasons game we've ever had. The audio is just as amazing. As you heard, the music is very orchestral, and while some of the tracks, like the one in your house, stick to the original melody, most are completely new. All of the story-related and romance scenes are fully voiced, the character models are expressive, the scenes are more animated than typical for the series, reminding me a lot of what they did with Rune Factory Guardians of Azma. If you played the original Grand Bazaar on the Nintendo DS, you will notice how most of the cutscenes and dialogue here are different. You get to know the characters on a much deeper level, and while their personalities are mostly the same, they feel much more alive. By the way, you can choose if you want the English or Japanese voices, and also if you want the 2D portraits to be visible or not. Before enjoying Zephyr Town in all of its beauty though, you will need to create your character. The customization is very similar to how it was in Pioneers of Olive Town, and in fact, they reused a lot of the same assets, especially the item icons as you'll see throughout the video, but it is well done, and trust me, this game has very little to do with Olive Town. In my first few days, I was doing a lot of socializing, and one interesting thing is how certain relationship levels are now locked behind events or requests. So you could be locked at 3 hearts with a character, until you've seen a specific event or helped that person with a request, such as finding a lost item or collecting some resources. Of course, you get rewards for these requests, and this system makes the process of befriending villagers less repetitive. Now let's head to our farm. From the very beginning, you can use special techniques, so instead of doing your actions one square at a time, you can jump to cover wider areas, and not too long after you can double jump to cover even more. All of it is so fast, fun, and responsive, and it may not be the most realistic, but doing a ground pound to harvest multiple crops at once is so satisfying. You can also use these techniques to collect resources outside of the farm, like in this new mountain area, and honestly, I've never had so much fun just spending my days collecting stone and flowers, as all of the actions feel so good. You can also catch bugs, which takes some time getting used to as you have to be sneaky, but if you miss one, you're never too far from another bug or something else to collect. Fishing is fine, but not my favorite. You have to move the left stick in the direction of the arrows, and let's say there are 4 fish icons, it means you have to get 4 arrows correctly before this bar goes down. It feels very easy and a bit slow, but my hope is that once I have a better fishing rod, I will find more challenging fish. To me, the minigame doesn't have any sense of tension, it doesn't feel like I'm fighting a fish or anything. I think it could have been better, but it's okay, and I still spent a good amount of time fishing. I also got to try beekeeping and mushrooms, and these activities are more passive. You put fully grown flowers near a beehive, spores on the logs, and resources are generated automatically after a few days. Most items have a quality level ranging from half a star to 5 stars. To raise it for crops, you have to fertilize. But for everything else, so fish, bugs, forageables, honey, and mushrooms, you have these nature sprites that you can give these items to, and after a certain amount, they will increase the quality of the future items you find. This is addictive because even if you don't particularly need to catch a bug or break these stones, you can still do it, give them to the sprites, and you will make progress towards your quality levels. Plus, some resources respawn multiple times a day, so I never felt like I had nothing to do. There was not a dull moment. As you do almost anything in this game, you receive happy energy, which is similar to the sprite points in Olive Town, and I don't want to spoil too much, but it is a lot more useful than the sprite points. As for wrenching, using the handbell to call animals in and out every day is fun. It is quick, but I like that you have to do something. And later on, you can unlock pets and train them to automate the process. Exploring Zephyr Town has been so fun, jumping around feels great. The glider makes it even better, but just one minor gripe I have is that the wind always blows in the same general direction. It varies a bit day to day, but it always goes east, making it so you basically can only glide one way. I guess the town was designed with that in mind, but there are times I find myself wanting to glide the other way and it's not possible. I do like the idea that you have to go in the direction of the wind. I just wish the direction actually changed once in a while. There are a few places you can only reach when the wind is strong enough, and the wind also affects the productivity of your windmills. Windmills are where crafting happens, and it is a lot more practical than having to deal with dozens of different crafting machines. Most of the time, you are encouraged to transform everything. So potatoes by themselves are not worth much, but make some vinegar first, then pickle those potatoes, and they will become way more valuable. Also, every season, there are trending items that are more valuable. So in spring, it was red-colored food, accessories, pink things, and that had a much bigger impact on how I played than I thought it would. I turned all of my milk into yogurt that I then turned into strawberry yogurt, kept all of my wildflowers to make this perfume, and I did a lot of fishing to make sashimi. That was my plan for spring, but whenever I see the trends for next month, I might stop making all of these strawberry yogurts and use the milk for something else instead. I don't know yet if these trends are random or predetermined, but they really change things up. Cooking is also very useful here, as most dishes come with a buff, like let's say faster running speed, friendship boost, increased maximum stamina, so you want to eat different things based on your plans for the day. Stamina decreases quite fast, but you can take a bath every 8 hours, and making food is easy. Even though it's easy, I like that managing your stamina is something you have to think about, and similarly, managing your inventory and storage is a big part of the gameplay loop. You can of course expand them, but there are a lot of different items and you want to optimize your profits for the bazaar on Saturday. So to make space, you may have to give some stuff away to the nature sprites or the villagers, cook or use the windmill to combine items. You can't just keep everything and you need to have a bit of a strategy. The freshness mechanic from the original game is still present, so products lose value over time, but I think it's been toned down a bit. The only thing I've seen lose a bit of freshness took maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks, and it was vinegar, funnily enough. This might become harder to manage once you have a larger storage with more things, but again, all of these mechanics work so well together. The minigame to run the bazaar each Saturday is simple but fun, a lot more fast-paced than in the original, and as you upgrade your stall with decor, you can sell a lot of things. In my last Bazaar of Spring, I sold all of my products and made over 70,000 G in 2 hours. I suspect that by next week, I will get the Bazaar to rank 4 out of 7, which brings me to my main concern. It's honestly my only worry, the pace at which we unlock things. Day after day, I kept unlocking new tools and features, meeting characters I was not expecting to see anytime soon, repaired 2 out of 3 windmills, upgraded most of my tools once or twice, got my glider, bought 4 animals, expanded my storage, added a new field, and more. Don't get me wrong, I had a blast and I was busy every day, but also I was not rushing by any means, and I am worried that there may not be as much to discover in the upcoming months and years. It's not as rewarding when things are so easy to get, and honestly, I would love if the cost of everything was double what it is now, or if there was some difficulty settings. The original Grand Bazaar was a slow grind. For example, you couldn't get the fishing rod until summer, upgrading tools was difficult until the first winter, the Bazaar took a while to rank up, but patience was rewarded, and things got busier the longer you played. Of course, this new game has more content with more to unlock, more stuff to buy like clothes, stall decor, technique upgrades, but I am having a really good time, so I don't want to finish everything in under a year. My hope is that they made the beginning very fast-paced to hook new players in, and then it will slow down and give us a bit of grinding to do, so I will be keeping my eye on that. But right now, it is a bit too easy and fast for my liking. I want to have to make the most out of the trends mechanic, I want to have to save a lot of money. There is a Steam achievement for making it to year 6 and I do want to get there. I'm just scared all of it is going to end too soon. I sincerely hope I'm wrong on this, as I'm having so much fun with Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. Let me know what you think, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all in the next video.